It's what it says on my Twitter
Told
machines.
you, it's always a good feeling. I actually just don't know if we went live on YouTube or not because I can't figure that out.
Well,
So
we are live on Twitter.
great. Hello, everyone.
Oh. All right, I turned it down.
I gotta do the same thing.
Since we always forget.
Honest mistake, you know? Okay.
Hi,
I'm trying to get us.
Hi.
I'm trying to get us live in YouTube, but that might have to be a next week project, everyone.
For the Facebook crowd.
For the Facebook crowd.
So we can share it on Facebook the next day for the
Plus
boomers.
YouTube crowd, you know.
For all of my mom's friends.
For the boomers. My parents don't even know this exists as far as I know.
I still don't know what Periscope is. So also, guys, I tried to. Did you see my tweet? I tried to do a split today.
Oh no!
No, I'm sorry.
Were you trying to do the WAP dance?
I don't want to talk about it. I thought
I need to know everything, actually.
I'm convinced that Brittany has like a TikTok burner account and she was trying to learn the WAP dance.
No, I don't have a TikTok burner, but like I thought about it and I'm like, I could probably do that. And I could not do that.
I used to be able to. I have not tried in a while.
You know, you're getting old when as soon as you do that, you immediately like DM your chiropractor and you're like, you have to help me. I think I just died. I hurt my shoulder doing it.
I'm sorry, you hurt your shoulder doing a split?
I guess I was like trying to like hold myself in a way that I probably shouldn't have been because I didn't want to like collapse onto myself. It was a lot. I'm glad nobody saw it.
Sounds like a lot, Brittany.
It was a lot.
Okay, I think I am all set up. We might be live on YouTube as well. I didn't get a chance to do the title correctly, so it's fine. I think we're there. I'll get that figured out for next week, but this is very exciting. Look at me being a technologically, the IT department of Girl Gang, which is actually very scary. Okay.
You're an IT expert.
Listen, we've got a great show lined up for everybody tuning in. It's going to be all Browns talk, maybe more Britney splits talk. We'll see how the episode goes.
Cannot wait. Jenna just texted me. I was telling you guys before we went live. She's like, "Oh my god, did you get your roots done? Because look how blonde my roots. It's just a ton of dry shampoo. I haven't washed my hair in like 3 days."
I have to get when I used to use dry shampoo, I had to get the tinted stuff because my hair is so dark that if I use regular dry shampoo, I look like an old graying lady. Like I look like
that's what I'm trying to look like right now. So it works.
I got my hair dyed darker. I'm ready for fall. I'm kind of feeling it.
It's pretty.
Back to my roots, literally. Okay. You guys ready? Ready to do this? Okay.
I'm ready.
Guys, this is episode number 40 of That's What B Said. We are getting old.
I was about to say, does this mean that B said is officially middle-aged now? Is 40 middle-aged?
Yeah, we can probably start applying for retirement benefits pretty soon here.
They didn't think we'd last past 4 episodes.
That's right. We
get our letters from AARP and
so I am your host, Breezy Clee, Bree Rust. I'm joined by Miss Mollis, Brittany. Hello, Brittany at Bird's Eye View.
Hello, everyone.
And Meredith is joining us on a Tuesday. Miss Meredith at MCAN Sports. Hi, Mare.
Hi, guys.
We missed you live on Sunday, but we know you were there in spirit.
I was there. Yeah, I had it streaming on my phone while I was working in the background and trying not to get caught.
We're glad you didn't. We're glad you're here with us tonight. All right, guys. So like I said, we have a show dedicated to our very own Cleveland Browns because it is the week of opening game. Like, who would have thought we would have gotten to this point? Who would have thunk?
I really didn't think that we were going to get to this point. I like months ago, I would have guessed that the NFL would just done. Couldn't do it.
Yeah, same.
And here we are.
Yeah, it feels very surreal that NFL season is kicking off in 2 nights. Also, it feels like a Monday. So I'm very thrown off by NFL football starting in 2 nights. That's crazy.
Also, we haven't had preseason games to like hype us up.
Yeah, is that what preseason games do? Do
I
they
don't
hype us?
know. But like it reminds you that it's football season because I was looking at the weather because I've inherited that much from my dad that I have to check the weather and the weather channel all the time, and the temperature is going to start dropping soon. And I was like, oh, that's fall weather. I got my pumpkin. Well, it was a pumpkin spice latte. I got my pumpkin cold brew, and I was like, it's football. Like that's what goes along with pumpkin lattes and boots.
Can we talk about pumpkin for a second before we get into Browns? Because this is important. This is very like near and dear to my heart. But like ever since because I have a problem, number one. I can't stop at just like one pumpkin drink a day. I have to have at least 2. And I also have pumpkin creamer. So like occasionally when I make my own coffee, which happens probably like once a week, I use pumpkin creamer. But now like ever since I started doing this pumpkin thing, I am so bloated all the time. Like I don't eat anything. Today I had Brussels sprouts and like a turkey patty.
Well, that's why you're bloated. That's from the Brussels sprouts.
No, it's like all the time though. I think it's pumpkin. I think I'm allergic to pumpkin.
All of a sudden?
I don't know. I'm allergic to like everything all of a sudden. I'm allergic to adhesive.
Oh yeah, you're allergic to air? Just
I'm allergic to my eyelashes. I'm allergic to cold air. Just everything. Pumpkin.
We are definitely heading for retirement.
You should
based on this conversation.
You should just try like plain pumpkin and not like because it could be something like artificial that you're allergic to.
I don't know. It's just I'm always so I feel like I've gained like 30 pounds and like it's just gross. I think pumpkin is betraying me and that
pumpkin wouldn't
spirits.
do
I know. I'm still gonna drink it, obviously, but
power through, Brittany. All right, so we're going to kick off. We didn't talk about anything sports related on Sunday. We were just getting everybody acclimated to our new site that launched, which, by the way, guys, go check out girlgangclee.com. We are live. If you haven't checked us out yet, we have merchandise, we have articles, more stuff coming soon. So again, if you missed us on Sunday, that was what that show was about. So tonight we're going to talk about the Browns and their 53-man roster because that was finalized over the weekend. And we know at this point, you all probably know where we landed, where the Browns landed with the men on the roster, but we haven't had a chance to talk about it amongst ourselves. There was other big news happening today with Kareem Hunt, so we'll get into that. And some Baker Mayfield chatter that I feel like is kind of coming out of left field. So we will also dive into that. But we'll start with the 53-man roster. So we're not going to go through each position and read you through who landed the roster. I really just wanted to talk to you guys about specifically, number one, were there any surprises to you guys coming out of Saturday in terms of either who made the roster or who didn't? Brittany, I'll start with you. Oh no, did she freeze? I think she froze and she has a terrified look on her face.
I know. Oh,
yeah,
no.
First of all,
Brittany, hang on, I'll text her.
We'll edit this part out when I post it. But except for the people who are seeing it live right now.
Yeah. I was like, Brittany looks frightened actually, and now I'm scared for what she's going to say. Okay, well, we'll see if Brittany can come back. Meredith, I'm going to go to you just because we'll see if Brittany comes back.
Oh, we lost her. Do we want to pause for a second for her to come back, or because I don't want to continue without her?
Yeah, she'll come back. Sorry, everyone. IT Bree is letting you down.
I know. I have this same problem at work because since we're all like in different locations, we have Zoom. And for whatever reason, I'm always the problem. So it's always me that's freezing and dropping off.
Oh, yes. 2020.
Oh, no. I think Jenna took a screenshot.
Okay. She said her internet just dropped. All right, Meredith. So I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
Since you're here, we'll get Brittany's thoughts when she gets back. But anything that jumped out at you in terms of surprises, either who made the roster or who did not?
No, nothing surprising really. And we'll get into talking about this, I'm sure, but the linebacker room makes me so nervous.
Well, it's confirmed we have the worst in the league, right? Or
Yes.
it was already looking that way prior to the roster cut down.
Yes. So that makes me nervous. Like we're looking at who we've got at linebacker, and like I don't know. I think how many snaps did Sione Takitaki have last year? I think he only had like 2 or 3, like not that many.
He played more towards the end of the year when the entire defense was decimated. If
Yeah.
that makes you feel any better.
Yeah, I mean, and he did okay at training camp. He's a really hard worker. So I have a lot of confidence in him in the future. I just have a feeling it's going to take him a while to develop. But yeah, for the most part, I'm not really surprised by who got cut and who made the team. This is pretty much what I expected the team to look like.
Yeah, I think for me, there were a couple of things that I thought could go either way, depending on where they landed. But from like a wide receiver standpoint, obviously that room was pretty large coming out of training camp. And I think there were a lot of guys on the cusp of making the squad. And I really do think a lot of the wide receivers actually had a pretty solid camp in terms of how they performed. So I was really curious where they were going to go because you had JoJo Natson, Damian Ratley. They were kind of both, it felt like vying for the same position. You could maybe even throw DPJ into that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he probably had a better chance of making the roster given the fact that they drafted him. But JoJo Natson definitely felt like more of a special teams player. And would they go more that route or would they stick with Ratley? Well, they ended up keeping JoJo Natson on the team, on the roster. And I do think that will be from a special teams standpoint more so than DPJ. DPJ does not really have a ton of experience when it comes to kickoff returns. So I do think that might be a place where they don't want to rush him into something that he may not be 100% comfortable with, especially when you go through an entire training camp with not having any preseason games either. So not a ton of opportunity to get a lot of reps there. And then the other place, I don't know if I was surprised, but definitely a kind of a 180 from where we were last year was the running back room. So obviously, Andrew Berry and Stefanski are heavy on fullbacks. Well, we didn't have that last year. So you had to assume that they were going to be keeping a fullback on the roster. And we had Hilliard and Dearness Johnson last year, and Hilliard did not make the team, which he was the running back last year that tended to get more playing time and snaps than Dearness Johnson. So they kind of did a 180 on that sense. Those were really my biggest takeaways. I'm with you from a defensive standpoint. It's going to be really interesting, and we're going to see, obviously, in a few days, how we stack up against the Ravens.
Myles Garrett is going to have to like carry that defense on his back. Like he cannot get hurt. that's the one thing. Cause I remember we did a bad take tournament, and the worst take I had last year was that the secondary was so deep they didn't need Myles Garrett. And then that might be the worst take I've ever had. Cause then we saw what happened after Myles Garrett was suspended for the rest of the season. So.
Yeah. And it was not pretty.
No, God, not at all. So that defense makes me nervous, especially when you look around the AFC North and realize that they actually have some really good offenses. And it's, they're not going to be facing a decimated Steelers offense anymore. They're not going to be facing a decimated Bengals offense anymore. I have a feeling that Joe Burrow is probably going to have a pretty good rookie year. I don't know what Big Ben is going to look like, but supposedly he's in shape. But either way, it's, you've got your veteran quarterback over there. You've got Lamar Jackson, and we know what the Ravens have in Lamar Jackson. So just in the division, that makes me nervous because it's not like we're facing any weak offenses going into this season. Because that was kind of what we looked at last year was like, well, the Bengals offense, nothing to shake a stick at. Steelers offense, nothing to shake a stick at. Ravens, initially we're like, oh yeah, we got the Ravens, and then Lamar Jackson just
they blew up,
lit up. So so it's gonna be a really, really tough. I think that's probably going to be the biggest test for the Browns is how this defense steps up.
Yeah. So speaking of Myles Garrett, you brought him up, and I wanted to just touch on quickly because he really hasn't practiced. He's been dealing with the wrist injury. So we haven't seen a lot out of Myles Garrett. We obviously know he's in great shape. There's videos of him looking incredible when it comes to
Yeah,
lifting weights, conditioning and whatnot, but it's so different when it comes to actually being in football shape. So like that is the one thing, like I think these first few games, because we just haven't had the time specifically and those preseason games, not that the starters played all that often, but they were going full speed for the most part, at least for a few snaps or a quarter at the most. So I am a little bit anxious, and I do think things could get a little bit sloppy these first few games. And I'm hoping, though, that that's not just the Browns. I'm hoping that that's just an NFL-wide spread thing where it's both teams kind of looking like they're not maybe 100% in terms of conditioning or just being 100% polished.
I think there's going to be a lot of ugly football to start off.
Yeah.
Just because I want to say there's 8 teams total that have new head coaches this year. So there's a lot of turnover in not just the Browns. Now with the Browns, it's a little more difficult because it's new GM and new head coach and new offensive coordinator and a new offense. So, while you had other teams doing their 11 on 11s and, running scrimmages, you had Baker learning footwork. You had your offensive line learning new terms. You have, a left tackle that had to learn to go from right to left. So I think that the Browns are a little bit behind the ball on that because they just had so much more ahead of them than the other teams did. But a lot of teams had a lot of turnover. And then even if you look at like the Titans, they literally just signed Jadeveon Clowney yesterday.
I know.
So, I mean, he's had 0 time with Mike Vrabel. He's had 0 time with that team. So I think week 1, especially, it's going to be some real ugly football.
Yeah, I don't disagree. And here's the thing. And I'm actually writing an article in release of the season kicking off, just about like my thoughts on the beginning of the season, what September football means, because it's so, if you remember, if you rewind back to, I'm going to let Brittany in. If you rewind back to a year ago against the Titans, the home opener, obviously going into a season with a ton of hype, you had, obviously we just totally shit the bed. Hi, Brittany. Welcome back.
Hi, Britt.
Hi, guys.
I miss
Brittany,
you.
I'm going to get back to you, but you froze after I asked you that question, and your face was like sheer panic. And I'm like, oh no. I was like, how does Brittany really feel about the roster?
Well, I would say text our girl gang group because Jenna, the queen, got a screenshot of it and sent it to all of us.
Oh yeah, she sent it to me individually too. So now I have that forever. Which is great.
Just a moment in time. We were just going into, with the lack of preseason, obviously how different training camp looked. Like we're going to probably end up seeing a lot of sloppy football. Even though I was just touching on, like, if you rewind to a year ago against the Titans, we actually had all of the preseason, off season, and we still opened with like super sloppy football. So like, Can we really get any worse this year? I don't know. Like, I guess like for me and September football, it's so easy to overreact at the beginning, like in the first quarter of the season, but there's only going to be 4 games played this month. Like, just let's not panic. Let's not hit the panic button immediately. The reality is we're not going to be favored to win this game on Sunday. So like, just bring the expectations down a few notches, which I know is really hard to do because we beat the Ravens last year once. And once. Really early on. I don't know how that happened.
Only 2 games. We only played them twice. So we're batting 500 against the Ravens last year.
The first, not half, the first quarter and a half of the second Ravens game was really good.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they played the Ravens well 5 quarters last year, guys.
That's
5 out of 8. That's not bad.
Talk about a positive spin. This is what we are doing this for.
This is the spin zone.
Okay, so Brittany, I'm going to go back to you because I want to make sure we hear from you on the final roster, the cut down. Did you think that there were any glaring issues, misses, wins? What were your thoughts overall?
I don't see any like glaring issues, but again, like you were just saying, it's hard to tell until you see it. We haven't seen much of anything on the field. Again, I don't watch the preseason stuff, so I don't know what any of these people look like. So going based off of last year
and the Ravens.
Yeah, exactly. my like favorite way to measure things is gut. So what my gut tells me about all of this. The one thing that, you know, Bree, I think you tweeted about it over the weekend. How many tight ends we have? Like,
which
there's
they
so
did
many.
end up releasing Pharaoh Brown.
They
but
did. I saw that.
We did. To your point, we did on Saturday have 5 tight ends.
Yes.
And fullback.
Yes, and a fullback. That's the other thing. Like, I'm just so excited to see this style of football.
Yeah.
This gets me really excited because it's something that, you know, we haven't. Well, you can't compare anything to last year or the 2 years prior to last year because I don't even know how to explain what those were like. I don't know what kind of plan they had in those years. I don't know what kind.
They didn't.
You know, they just sort of said, well, we're just gonna maybe give it our best shot. I don't even know if that's true, honestly, now I think about it. But no, like
as long as everyone had fun, right?
Yeah.
I hope that everyone has a good time.
I'm looking forward to Kevin Stefanski's style football. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, and it's still, keep me honest here because I'm not 100% up to speed on the all things internet / Browns today. But we still at this point don't know who's calling the plays, right? They haven't formally announced who will be calling plays. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. So do you guys think that there's anything to that in terms of how, like, obviously we're going into Baltimore on Sunday, like they're preparing for the Browns as well as are we preparing for them, but they still don't know if Alex Van Pelt will be calling the plays or Kevin Stefanski. So do you guys put any weight into that at all? Do you think this is strategy? I almost said strategery. Do you think this is strategy by the Browns, or do you think it's just they don't actually know?
My conspiracy brain wants to think that it's strategy, and this is all part of the plan. It's all part of the plan, guys. That's one of my favorite things to say. I don't know that it actually is, so I'm not going to predict either way. But again, when you have smart people doing smart things, they probably do have a reason for not announcing who's going to be calling plays yet. That would be my guess.
I'm not worried about it, just because everything that has come out of Berea since day one with this current regime is everyone on the same page, everyone wanting the same thing, everyone working together. So it's not like you had an offensive coordinator trying to throw the head coach under the bus because he thought that he was going to get the head coaching position if he got the head coach fired. You know, you don't have a head coach saying, I'm driving the bus, you know, and just being so like, I feel like Kevin Stefanski is smart enough that if he feels overwhelmed by calling plays and running the game at the same time, like he's not going to have a problem calling Alex Van Pelton to call the plays if he's the one who starts out that way, as opposed to Freddie Kitchens, who it was very, very clear from the second drive that calling plays was too much for him to handle.
Clock management.
Being a game, like managing the game and calling plays was way too much for him. And instead of saying, okay, I need help from my offensive coordinator, he wears a Pittsburgh starter. You know, it just like,
oh my God.
Yeah, I get so annoyed.
Every time I forget about that, it gets brought up again and I get mad all over again.
I know.
But that's why I'm not worried, because like you said, smart people do smart things, and smart people know when they need help. Yes. And smart people know when to ask for help. And so if Kevin Stefanski is the one calling plays on Sunday and it becomes too much for him, I have no doubt in my mind that Alex Van Pelt will step up. Maybe not like mid-game, but maybe for the following Thursday game, they'll probably work out something.
Yeah. The only other thing that gives me a moment to pause is the offensive line. Because JC Tretter, we still don't know if he will be the starter on Sunday. And I feel like I watched Building the Browns on Sunday. I don't know if you guys watched it or if you're caught up or not, but Nick Harris, they did like a one-on-one interview with him. And they haven't really talked about JC Tretter being injured, but Nick Harris kind of slipped that JC was injured. So that one to me is interesting. I don't know if that was just like he slipped up on his words. That's not what he really meant, or if truly there's something to be concerned about. But that is the one thing that, again, like it would be really, really nice having him to be available to start on Sunday. Like we already have Jedrick going to be starting as a rookie. I just want some veteran leadership especially when it comes to the offensive line.
Well, they do have Jack Conklin, and he is very good.
Yeah, he's had a pretty under the radar, not really been talked about all that much in terms of training camp, what's coming out of it, which is not a bad thing. That's actually probably a very good thing.
Yeah, he was the Titans' first overall pick in 2016. So, I mean, I think that says a lot. You're not going to be a team's first overall pick for nothing. And I mean, I covered him when I lived in Tennessee, and he was great there. And so far, all I've heard is good things about him here. So I think that he's probably going to be a good, strong leadership voice on that offensive line.
Yeah, that's your boy, Meredith.
He is. Yeah,
I remember months ago we were talking about him.
I know. I was all in on the Browns signing Jack Conklin when those rumors came out, and I was so happy when it happened.
Who was the other one that you wanted to?
Alex Boone.
That's it.
Yeah, he's a free agent. I don't think he's played since 2018. He was with the Vikings and then with the Cardinals. So he's worked with Kevin Stefanski before. Okay. And he retired from the NFL, but then decided that he wanted to come back. And he got into NFL shape, and then COVID happened. So he wasn't able to go to a lot of Browns facilities, or not Browns, but just not able to do what a normal free agent would do when, trying to get back into the NFL. So I don't think he's signed anywhere. I don't think he'll be playing in 2020, but that was the other person I was standing for this offensive line.
Now, from the very little that I have paid attention to, training camps and everything, it seems like maybe Jedrick wasn't, he had problems, right? There were some issues there.
They kind of alluded to, they weren't very outright in saying that he had issues, but they alluded to, or he alluded to, I guess, because he did say this on, I think it was Building the Browns or one of his press conferences, that like anything, it's tough to switch from one side to the other, even though he was technically protecting I can't pronounce his name. Tagovailoa, thank you.
I've practiced that a lot.
His strong side, he did almost say it's like if you've been, and maybe this is a little bit extreme, but if you've been writing with your right hand your entire life and then you switch, there's going to be a transition period. So I think they were pretty transparent about he's a rookie. It's been an adjustment for him, maybe more so than they anticipated, but hey, he has one of the best offensive line coaches helping him. So at least there's that behind him.
Yes.
I'm not worried.
Protect Baker. I'm
not worried about anything, guys.
Brittany, you're so calm.
I know, right?
I love it. That's what we need.
It's all that pumpkin. Might blow you, but it also calms you down.
You'd think with all the coffee I drink, I'd be wired all the time. And it's just not. I'm basically like a stoner. That's why I don't smoke pot. Because imagine if I did, I would just be dead, I think.
Brittany, can I tell you something funny? Someone that I work with, who also listens to the podcast, he sent me a message 2 weeks ago and was like, hey, I'm catching up on That's What B Said. He was like, question for you. Is Brittany a stoner? She's just so, and I was like, I started laughing and I was like, no, she's not. I was like, but I could see how you could think that because she's very just,
I think that. Sometimes I wonder if I'm catching secondhand somewhere because I don't know how else to explain myself.
I imagine if Brittany was a stoner, I picture, so this is how I picture it. I picture you would eat a corner of a brownie, turn on a Weekend album, and then fall asleep.
I mean, yeah. Or this is what I do now. I go down these weird rabbit holes of anything that's stupid. Today I was watching this video of what grass sounds like.
Excuse me?
Somebody had a little device and they hooked it up to grass. And I guess there's this little machine or something that lets you know what nature sounds like, the music that it makes. And it was so beautiful. I almost started crying.
Brittany. I can't.
I know. There's something wrong. There's a lot wrong with me.
See, we're exact opposite. When I go down rabbit holes, it's always conspiracy theories.
Oh yeah, I love those too.
Oh God, when I first stumbled on the Beyonce and Lady Gaga running the Illuminati conspiracy theory, I was on the internet for 3 hours reading everything about the Illuminati and about like all the symbolism in Beyonce and Lady Gaga's music videos that proved that they were a part of the Illuminati.
I mean,
like, I still believe it. I'm still completely convinced.
Yeah. So no, I will never be a stoner because I think I would just have no pulse at all. And I'd fall down into this big hole that I can't come out of. I'm already like halfway there.
Her grass is singing to you.
I'm going to find it, send it to you guys. It was really beautiful. You'll love it.
I can't wait.
It'll be
I cannot wait.
It'll be the new intro music to the podcast.
It should be.
All right. I don't know how we got to this topic, but it was great.
This is what happens when you let me direct things.
All right, I'll get us back on track.
This is why I can't host.
Okay, so
I'm sweating. Ugh.
Don't sweat. It's fine. So we have to get into the other big news of the day regarding the Browns was they signed running back Kareem Hunt to a 2-year, $13.25 million extension. So to me, like, I honestly, this kind of came to a surprise to me. I was not expecting this news today. I think we all kind of had a little bit of mixed emotions when the Browns signed Kareem. How do you guys feel about this now? Brittany, I'll start with you.
Okay, so it's difficult to say because, I told someone today, I said, I'm never going to be a big fan of Kareem, but I also trust Andrew Berry enough that if he looks at this guy, I do believe that him and Kevin Stefanski believe in character, right? I think that's something that we can agree on. They want players to, have a good head on their shoulders. They want them to really be a part of the team, this like teamwork mentality. We don't have a John Dorsey on our hands anymore. Andrew Berry's not John Dorsey. If he looks at this kid and thinks that he's on a good path now and he's made the changes that he needs to make to not be that, kind of person anymore, I trust that, because I don't know the guy. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, he's the same guy. I'm not going to say that. I'll never be okay with what happens. And that's why I was mad when they initially signed him. But, I wasn't upset today. That's as good as I can give you, really. Like, it's fine. He's a good running back, good for football. And I'll trust that Andrew Berry knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
I think
Meredith?
that's fair.
It was a little concerning because like Brittany said, they are big character guys. But the good thing with Kareem is like the worst trouble that he's gotten into in like recent memory was he got stopped for speeding, which, not a horrible offense. They found weed in his car, which again, not a horrible offense. Like, I don't get mad, especially, I forget what they were saying, but he wasn't like speeding dangerously. He was just speeding and the cop pulled him over and then they found a little bit of weed in his car. So, I mean, that kind of thing is not a big deal in my opinion. So I'm hoping that means that he has turned a new leaf. I do hope that if he does have any kind of domestic violence issues again, I would hope they would cut him immediately. But it's a hard, like Kareem Hunt is a hard just enigma to wrap your head around because on the one hand, you don't like what he's done in the past, but at the same time, his talent is undeniable. Like if you want someone who's going to help you win football games, Kareem Hunt is on that list of people who will help you win football games. Sure. I guess 2 years, $13.25 million is a big upgrade from 1 year, $1 million, which is what his contract was.
Yeah.
I do get a little concerned for the future of Nick Chubb with this signing because the cap space is going to go down for next year. That's pretty much a given considering they're not going to have the same amount of revenue this year with less fans in the stands and in some cases no fans in the stands. So revenue is going to be down for that reason, which means cap space is going to go down. And, we've seen what's happened with running backs around the league. So, I mean, if Nick Chubb just doesn't have an absolute monster year, he is at risk of not getting an extension on his deal.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about, does this have any type of impact on Nick Chubb's future? I'm not going there yet because I do feel like Andrew Barry is very smart in a sense of they had to have weighed those options and they clearly think very highly of Nick Chubb. And again, we have an entire year of football that needs to be played. So much can happen between now and re-signing Nick Chubb. I also feel like Nick Chubb doesn't seem the type to be like a player that will hold out for a monster contract. But if he wants to do that, by all means, if he plays up to a level that we know he is capable of, he has every right to do that and to hold out. I think with the Kareem Hunt signing, I do feel like this actually could be good value for another team if they were interested in the future. We'll see how they do as a tandem playing side by side for an entire year. But going back to just Kareem Hunt signing, you know, I will say like 2 years ago when they signed him, I had a lot of mixed emotions about him just based on his past, his troubled past. And I will say, I find myself now rooting for him. I don't want anyone to fail. Like, I don't want someone that has had a troubled past define who they become in the future. And I will say that it has been very nice to see how he has been since being with the Browns. Like he's had probably many moments of screwing up, you know, like it I think when you're a star and you're making a lot of money, there's a lot of chances for you to either screw up or not screw up. And I think it's really shown kind of how much he has grown as a person. Again, I think if he messes up to the extent that he did a few years ago, I don't think they would keep him. I really don't. But I also think that had to have been something that was a conversation amongst them and between them, just to make sure that they were all on the same page. But yeah, it's, again, like, I'm not rooting for anyone to fail. I don't want anyone to fail. And I'm happy that he seems to have kind of come into himself and has gotten the help that he needs or had those conversations. Obviously, he didn't get to play football for half a year last year. So who knows what that kind of impact had on him. He's in his hometown. That could have been a factor. But yeah, I'm rooting for him to have a good year. And I like a good redemption story when it comes to that.
Did you see the quotes about him? I forget whether it was Stefanski or Barry, but the quotes that they had about him today and the re-signing, they said progress is not linear. And that like that hit me kind of deep, you know, because that's like when you think about it, like anything that you do in life, whether you want to lose weight or you want to move ahead in your career or, it's not a straight line up. Like it's going to be like up, down, up, down, up, down. And that's so when I want to say it was Andrew Barry said progress is not linear. That's sort of that was like the thing that kind of like had me do a complete 180 and be in the same boat as you, Bree, and like 100% wanting Kareem Hunt to succeed because he's had a few backslides. Like I think, what was it? Like a year ago, he got into a bar fight. Then earlier this year, like we said, he got, pulled over on a traffic stop, but since then it's been squeaky clean. So.
Yeah. I mean, we have someone who isn't on a team who knelt for the national anthem and got blackballed from the NFL. So I just go back to like, there are so many football players that still have jobs in the league or have had jobs in the league that have done a lot of really bad things. And then you have a man, and we don't need to get into this debate because I don't want to have this debate, but then you have a man who is just trying to bring awareness or who was trying to bring awareness to social injustices, who essentially has never played another snap of football in his life. So I just think like, the NFL, they've screwed up their priorities in a lot of different ways where number one, they aren't the judge and the jury when it comes to a lot of these matters. And unfortunately, they've inserted themselves in situations where they shouldn't be making the call one way or the other. So that's my 2 cents on that. I don't want to get into a Colin Kaepernick debate at all because that will go down a very different path. And I think we all know how we all feel about that.
Yeah. I mean, just between the three of us, there won't be a debate because I'm pretty sure all three of us have the same feelings. So.
Yes, very true.
Yeah, we need to get a guest on here who like hates us just to argue with us. Because it seems like for the most part, we're always on the same page We need to get someone on here that just can't stand us.
Yeah, like, there's
get on
been
here.
very, very few things that we have disagreed on this podcast.
Yeah.
So just tweet that out. Be like, who hates me?
Oh, I'm sure we'll have a
on
line.
our podcast.
Everyone who hates us, please send us a letter.
you have to send it to the PO box, and it has to have a fun two requirements. Send it to the PO box, and it has to have a really fun stamp.
Yes, and then you come on and just
have
at us. Just go.
It'll be the Dale Mail episode.
Yeah, we'll read them out loud. All right. Well, I'm going to move into our second favorite guy, which is Baker Mayfield. I don't know why I said he was our second favorite guy. Whatever.
I mean, I have my bless him koozie tonight. So
listen, my favorite list is getting so long. I don't even know like who's top 10 anymore. I'm just in love with everyone.
Okay, thank you for that. So Baker Mayfield, this is not coming from him directly, but Baker's back talk is back. It was circulating around some talk shows this morning. It was popping up on my feed here or there. I sent it to both of you guys, and I genuinely want to know, do we feel okay about this? Do we like not want this chatter to happen? Because like, I was like, no, let's just keep Baker under the radar, please. Like, stop. And then on the flip side, you have, was it ESPN that their prediction was that Baker will be benched midway through the season for Case Keenum?
Yes. Yeah. So
which is more likely? Which is it, you guys?
Yeah. So ESPN ran their season simulator, and I think in like somewhere between week 9 and 12, they said that Baker was going to get benched, which how do
these simulations work?
So I think we're all living in a simulation.
Well, yeah,
already.
Obviously. I mean, I've been saying that for like a year. But so like these football simulations, though, who does them? Like, who generates these? Who's the god of these things?
I don't know. I really want to know what they use to do their predictions, because I wonder if they just plug everything into Madden and just play a lot of Madden and then publish.
And then they bench Baker? Is that what happens in Madden?
I don't know.
I want to know like all the analytics behind this. I want to know who's in charge, how many different simulations they are, because if there's like a billion different simulations and Baker Mayfield happens to not play, half the season in one of them, I'm like, cool, whatever. Like, computers are wrong too sometimes, I assume. So I'm not worried about that. What was the other thing that the national attention. Okay. So here's my thing on that. I'm okay with it now because the last time when it all blew up in our face and it was a catastrophe, that all happened like months prior. Like, we were doing this hype thing for months and months and months and getting, we're going to playoffs 14-2, rah, like, but that was a long time. Now, we're like 3 days away from the season starting, right? So if they want to talk about, I think Baker's going to be good, cool. I like it. Let's do it. I think Baker's going to be good too. I'm all for it. I'm on the Baker train. I think he's going to have a big year. And I'm good. Hype me up.
So I'm going to say this. I think the only situation where Baker gets benched is a horrific injury, because
don't say that. Get that out of the universe.
She puts these things in the universe.
I'm not saying no.
Get it back.
You can't finish these things, Meredith.
Let me finish. Hear me out. Because Kevin Stefanski is not going to put Baker in a position to fail. Alex Van Pelt is not going to put Baker in a position to fail. So that's why I don't believe the Baker gets benched halfway through the season, because this coaching staff is going to do everything for him. I think his offensive line is going to do everything for him. And then his weapons around him, like Jarvis and Odell and Kareem and Nick Chubb, they are all going to like run through walls for him. So that's why I'm looking at this and saying there's no way. Like, Baker is too talented and he has too much support around him for him to perform so poorly that he gets benched. So that's why I'm looking at this and saying the only way this happens is with an injury. Like, I just don't see Baker getting benched this year otherwise.
Yeah. How do you think Case Keenum would do?
Well, I mean, he and Stefanski already have a relationship from Minnesota. I mean, I think he's a good backup. So I mean, if something bad happens, then my table is wood. My table is wood. I think he's good for, half a game to a game, but Case Keenum is not the person that I would want starting.
Yeah, but like I feel lucky that we do have him because there is a history there and there's a comfort level there, I'm sure. So I'm it's fortunate that we have him as backup. So if God forbid that should happen, I don't think it would be as disastrous that it would be with, someone else in the back.
Yeah, exactly. Like I have so much more confidence in Case Keenum than I do in Drew Stanton. Like I would take Case Keenum. No offense, sorry, Drew, but 10 times out of 10, I'm taking Case Keenum as my backup over Drew Stanton.
Yeah. No, same.
All right, guys. So we're gonna move on and wildly speculate how the season's going to go because
why not?
Wildly
speculating.
Okay, I mean,
before we get to this,
yes.
What if? So I was going through and I have like in my mind about what I think of every game, but I have not looked and seen what the record is. I'm looking at every game in a vacuum. Are you guys gonna disown me and kick me out of the gang if I accidentally predict 8-8?
Yes.
Yeah, no, you will be cut off immediately right now.
So I'm going to be counting on my fingers to make sure.
Here's what we're going to do. Okay. We're going to go game by game here and we're not going to like drag this out and make it a big thing. No, like, oh, well, if this happens.
Yeah, you don't need to give a reason.
We're not doing that. I didn't even look at this again. Okay. The last time I looked at the schedule thoroughly was probably like 2 months ago. So even when I was getting this together, I copy and pasted it and I was like, I'm just going to go with my gut and deliver what I think based on my gut right now. Because let me say, it's very hard. You guys know that I do that like football thing where I pick them every week from my uncle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got it a couple of days ago. I still haven't done it because it's just so hard this year. It's like, these spreads and everything. I'm just like, I don't know anything about these teams anymore. I haven't, it's hard to keep up or to pay attention. There's no, no preseason games, nothing. So we're going in this blind. And it's going to be great. And I'm tweeting so that everyone can join in that's not here if they want to know our predictions. So give me 1 second.
Yeah, I'm also going to throw something else at you guys. And I don't want you to read this in the rundown. Like I need initial gut reactions to this. But I did a couple of over-unders for the game on Sunday as well. So I'm going to get your guys' opinions on that. And we're going to see how you guys did after Sunday. So don't scroll down on the rundown.
Okay.
Stick up here with me. And we'll see how you guys do on that too. And we'll have people on Twitter weigh in as well.
Yes. Bree, your mic got real quiet.
Oh, I did?
Yes.
I sound good to me.
It's okay. We'll fix it in post.
I just want to make sure I could hear her because I have old ears.
Okay. My microphone to me. Is this better, Brittany?
Okay. Sent the tweet out.
Okay.
So anyone that wants to join us for this part, welcome.
All right.
All right, let's look at the schedule, ladies.
You guys ready?
Yes.
Okay. So game 1, Sunday, September 13th, we have the Ravens. Win or loss, Brittany, I'm starting with you. Do I need to write these down? I don't have a pen.
Don't worry, it'll be on YouTube, so we could just listen to it later.
Okay, great.
Oh,
Meredith, yes, write them down because we need to know where the record lands. What if Brittany goes 8-8? I'm gonna die.
I would never. Hello, you're talking about.
She's gonna predict way too many wins. I know that already.
All right. Okay. So we're not thinking about the spread because we don't have that for every game.
Nope.
So this is just win or loss.
Just win loss doesn't matter.
Yes.
Okay. Win loss. Baltimore loss. This is gonna be a loss.
Shit. I also am going to say loss.
Mm-hmm.
Meredith?
I think it's going to be a loss as well.
3 L's.
Guys, this is not a good start.
Not a good start.
Like, here's the thing. Lamar Jackson is...
Lamar Jackson.
Baltimore knows what they have in each other. This is going to be the first time that this Browns team is playing a full game together. Not a scrimmage, not an 11-on-11.
Yes.
So It's going
Does
to be.
anyone have the Browns winning? I need people to offset this.
I
bad juju
might
input.
take them on Sunday against the spread because it's like 7.5, I think.
Yeah,
So
I
I
think
might
you're-
take them because I don't know if they're gonna. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. I still have to decide that. But does anyone think the Cleveland's gonna win?
When's the last time we've won the first game? What's the stat? How do we not know this?
Oh, I don't
We
know. That's
tied
something
2 years
The
ago. And
odds
then
are
we
not
lost
in our
last
favor.
year. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my
when
God, I
last time we
remember
won the
that
first
tie
game.
game. That was so miserable.
Oh yeah, that was 2 years
Yeah.
ago.
I was at work
Yeah.
for like 16 hours that day. I wanted to like jump in Lake Erie when it was done.
Okay,
All right, so let's move on.
game 2.
Mhm.
We're gonna turn around very quickly on a Thursday night against the Bengals.
Yeah, win.
This is
Win.
8:20. I'm going win as well. So we
Win.
got 2 wins.
Mhm.
Meredith, you win for a win.
I'm going to say a loss just because
Man.
Meredith, you're
I
really
love you
gonna have
guys.
them go 0-4 to start.
You're
Oh,
like
never
my
mind.
dad.
Never mind. The Washington football team is next. So.
Yeah, oh yeah. Washington football team is going 0-16. That's my prediction for them.
All right, so yes, game 3
but-
against the Washington football team.
It's a win.
W.
Yeah.
W. Okay, number 4, at the Cowboys.
W.
Sunday game, 1 p.m. I'm gonna
W.
go loss.
Meredith.
Really? So Bree says it's an L.
I don't know, guys.
That's a tough one. That's almost a push. I am going to go in the positive direction for that. I'm going to say a win. I think they're going to start the season 2-2.
You know what I really want to do is have them win 16 games, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, so then we have a home game against the Colts. 425 game. Hope we get us some Tony Romo on this game. I'm going to go with win.
Win.
I'm on the roller coaster.
This is just
Right
my
now.
gut speaking. I'm just like I'm the mouthpiece for my gut right now.
I'm gonna go win too with the Colts. I don't think they've been the same since Andrew Luck retired.
No.
Okay, then we're at Steelers the following week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go a loss here. I'm going to have a splitting with the Steelers, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same.
Meredith?
I know. I'm thinking this is so tough because like we don't know
It's
what we
gonna-
got. Like it's gonna be
I know.
like we
it's
could
gonna-
like we could have Big Ben. I think it's gonna be
That's the
You know
thing. It'll
what?
depend on their quarterback.
you know what?
Sure will.
You know what? I'm gonna go against the grain. I'm gonna say W. I think this is gonna be revenge for Myles
Ooh.
Garrett.
Yes, I love it. I love that storyline. Write that down.
Also, there might not be like a super huge home field advantage just because
No.
I don't know. Some of these places don't have like fans. Some of them, we have like 6,000 allowed, I think. So I don't know. That might play into it too.
Okay, so then we are at the Bengals, another conference game.
Mm-hmm.
There will be 6,000 fans there. I'm going to go win.
I'll go win. I do think the Bengals are going to be pretty decent this year. I don't think, we're going to see a Cincinnati team that just rolls over. I think they're going to be
Heard
good.
it.
And I think it's going to be a close game, but I think the Browns are going to win this one.
Yeah, I'm going W just because I think we're gonna split with the Bengals. And I already have them losing in week 1. So that means I have to go with a win here.
All right, that takes us to game 8 against the Las Vegas Raiders at home. I'm going win.
That's a win.
I'm actually gonna go with an L on this one just because the Raiders are strange. Like John Gruden is a weirdo, and that's like one of the he's a wild card, and that team is a wild card.
Weirdo. Okay, so this takes us into bye week. So Meredith, what is our record right now heading into the bye week?
All right, so Bree is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 3. Brittany
Ooh.
is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2. I am 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 3.
Okay. 5 and 3.
That's-
I'll take that heading into the bye week.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
so-
on brand.
Okay.
Yeah.
So out of our bye week, we have Houston Texans at home. I'm going to go with loss.
I'm going to have to agree with you on there.
At home after a bye week. I'm gonna go positive and say win.
Okay.
Have all that rest time to rejuvenate. Get their thoughts and prayers together. And they're gonna just stample.
Thoughts and prayers.
All right. So then we have the Eagles at home, another home game, 2 weeks in a row. I'm going another W.
Mm,
We're going streaking right now.
who's the Eagles quarterback this year?
It's still Carson, isn't it?
Is it seriously? God, I'm so
Yeah.
sick of him.
I'm so
How
sick of
old
him
is he?
too. He's
How old is
overrated.
I feel like he's like 50 years old. He's
Yeah.
been in the league for like what, a couple of years. You know what made me exhausted of him is that the Browns fans like,
Oh yeah.
should
Oh
pick
my
Carson
God,
Wentz for years. You passed
every
on Carson Wentz. I can't.
He's barely
So,
played.
right. So
It's
no,
like
the Browns are winning. They're beating the
Deshaun
Eagles.
Watson, Patrick Mahomes, like all of them.
Listen,
Oh, you
Deshaun
passed on.
Watson.
Yeah, you passed on Deshaun. You passed on Carson Wentz. You passed on. Oh, like it's no.
No. So
Okay.
W. That's a W for me.
I'll go W2. Why not? I'm feeling positive
Woo.
tonight.
Yeah.
All right. So
Positive.
then we are at Jacksonville Jaguars, who I believe are tanking. So I'm gonna go W.
That's a definite W.
Oh
Freaking
yeah,
better be.
Can't lose against a tanking team. Jason
I'm
Mendoza will be in
currently
the crowd.
at a 3-game win streak right now. Just FYI. Okay, so then
Wait,
we
I thought
are.
you had. I thought for week 9, thought you had a loss.
Oh, no, week 9's a bye week.
No, I
Oh
mean
yeah, you're right. You're right. The Texans I had us losing.
You have a
Fine.
2
I'm on a
game.
2-game win streak.
Don't call it a streak yet.
I was looking ahead. Okay, so then week 13 we are at Tennessee Titans. I'm gonna go with loss here.
I'm going with a W here.
I've got an L against the Titans. Mike Vrabel's team is. Mike Vrabel's a very good coach. That looks like a completely different team since he's taken over.
Yeah.
And they won the Jadeveon Clowney lottery. So
Ugh. That's another one. I'm glad, man. I'm glad that that's done. And we don't have to, I don't even get into it. Okay, go ahead. Let's go on to week 14.
So then we are home against the Ravens. This is a Monday night game. We're winning this game. We're going to freaking come in there and we're going to take over the lead on the AFC North. That's what's going to happen.
I'm with you because I think they're going to split with Baltimore, and I already got the one loss out of the way. Hopefully, maybe we'll figure out Lamar Jackson by then.
Yeah, I think it's I think it's going to be a win too, just because it's late in the season. Like at this point, if the team isn't clicking, they're not going to be clicking. So
yeah.
All right. So then we are in New York 2 weeks in a row. First is against the Giants. I'm going to go win.
Win. The Giants can't be good, can they?
And every for guys that have issues with their old team, like I'm always like revenge. So win, because it's going to be every game against the Giants is going to be a revenge game for OBJ.
Is it Daniel Jones? Is that their quarterback?
Danny Dimes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, now this is ridiculous. Stop.
Okay. Then we are at the Jets. This will be post-Christmas at the Jets in New York.
How much turkey is going to be in their belly?
Yeah, or I don't know, beer, alcohol. I'm going to go, this is going to be a letdown loss. This one's going to hurt us.
No. No, I'm going with, I think I have them on like a all game winning streak in the second half here. No,
you're currently on a 6-game win streak over here.
We're gonna finish strong.
If that happens, I will go streaking in my neighborhood, Brittany.
I think it's gonna be a loss against the Jets too. Sorry.
God, guys. Geez.
We always seem to have these like games that we should 100% win and we just don't. Okay, and then finally, Steelers at home. I'm going win. We're going to split. I think we're going to split with the Steelers and the Ravens.
Yeah, we're going to win. So how many is it? Like, I just...
Is Brittany at 14-2?
She's at 13-3, so close.
Brittany, and then we are going to the playoffs.
Listen, but here's the thing, guys. What did you? Okay, first of all, before I get into that, Meredith, what do you say about the last game?
Against the Steelers?
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be a W. I think that the rivalry is too strong. I think there's just so much ill will towards the Steelers, and I think no matter what, it's not going to be just Baker with a chip on his shoulder. I think it's going to be Myles Garrett with a chip on his shoulder too. And so I just think that this team is going to like just roll over them because they don't want to lose to this team.
Okay, so Brittany is 13-3.
Yes.
That
Yeah,
where
but
she
here's the
landed?
thing, guys. Let me just explain though.
No, I
real
don't want
quick.
you to explain yet. I want everyone in the comments, because people were playing along. I need everybody now in the comments to also share their records of where they landed if they were playing along. So Brittany, 13-3. Meredith, where did you land?
I'm actually at 11-4. Wait, hold on. 1, 2.
You're missing a game.
Yeah, I know I am. Listen, I can only count up to 4, okay? I majored in music. 3, 4, 5. I'm 11-5. And Bree, you are 10-6.
Ooh, wow. 10-6. Yeah. I get down with that.
So I'm just relieved that I didn't accidentally predict 8-8. I was so scared. I was so
All right,
scared I was
we've
gonna
got some.
accidentally
Okay,
do 8-8.
let me go over the comments really quick. So we've got a 16-0. I dig that, true dog. 11-5, 20-0. So we're clearly gonna go to the Super Bowl. 12-4, 8-8. You've got an 8-8 guy.
Oh no,
Brittany.
who did that? He's getting blocked.
Electric Electric Pusha, you're getting the block. 9-7, 10-6 was Jenna. 12-4, it won't happen. 10-6 plus 4 playoff wins. That was Danny with the cute butt. That's my nickname. We got 10-6. So everyone's hovering, for the most part, everyone's hovering above 8-8, Brittany, not below
Listen,
it, mind you.
I appreciate that so much. I do think that everyone's playing it safe, which I respect, but I absolutely don't believe in doing that. So I'm going all in, saying we're going to see like the best second half that we've ever seen the Cleveland Browns play. I think maybe I had one loss in there.
One. Yeah.
Okay. Guys, we are finishing so strong. Unless we're already so far ahead that we're starting to sit people for the playoffs, then we might lose, the last game or so. But no, it's happening. 13-3. I like that.
Listen,
it's a strong prediction.
I don't think it's that crazy though.
These would be our best records since when? 2007, coming off of a COVID / no off season, new coaching staff, and
new head coach, new GM, new everything.
About a miracle. I mean, we need one. We are ready.
Okay. If you know for a fact that if the Browns make the playoffs this year, even if it's only like a wild card game and they lose in a wild card game, Disney is making a movie about this because it's the COVID season of all of the teams in the because of all of the teams in the NFL, the Browns have had the most turnover with personnel, with front office on the team. It's the worst defense in the NFL. At least that's how they're rated currently. And what else? Just everything else surrounding it, and on all the injuries in training camp. Now, granted, a lot of teams. A lot of teams had a lot of injuries in training camp, but the Browns felt particularly bad this year. So just with everything that they're going against, I would say in 18 months, there's going to be a new movie on Disney Plus about the Browns if they go to the playoffs.
Okay. And then maybe this is a podcast for a different day, but who would play Kevin Stefanski? Would it be Clooney?
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah.
And think about that.
Okay, we're gonna have to do casting for.
Yeah, we should do casting for everyone.
Yes,
now we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yes.
Now we're getting... Okay, guys. So this is
that.
gonna be the final segment of the show. If you guys are in the comments,
Idris Elba is gonna be Andrew Barry.
Stick around because we're gonna do some over/unders for the game on Sunday if you want to play along. So Meredith and Brittany, you guys are gonna be blind to this. They're not prepared. This is gonna be gut reactions. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I am going to start with Myles Garrett sacks over under 2.5.
This is just for week 1?
Yes, this is just against the Ravens on Sunday.
I'm going to go under. I think he's going to have either 1.5 or 2. So I don't think it's going to be 0, but I don't think he's going to get more than 2.5 sacks.
Yeah, I'm going to take the under 2. I'd say maybe 2. Maybe 2.
Okay, so you guys both taking the unders. I got to write these down too. Okay. All right, this is, pay attention. Pass attempts over under 29. So Stefanski with Cousins averaged 29.6.
Mm-hmm.
Will we be heavy on the run or will he go heavy on the pass?
I'm going under. I think it's going to be heavy on the run, especially in week 1.
Under. Okay.
29. Well, first of all, how are they so good at making these?
I made these up.
Oh. Brie,
Maybe
how
I
are
should
you
work
so
for
good at
Vegas.
making these? 29.
Did you guys ever play Sporkle back when it was like really popular? Because I feel like we should turn
No.
these into Sporkle quizzes on Girl Gang Cleveland website. That'd be
Okay,
fun.
I'm gonna. Okay, yeah, I'll take the under on that too.
Okay, both
29.
under.
Yeah, that seems like a lot.
Okay. Number of penalties. Over, under. I'm gonna go 7.5. Last year, mind you, our opening game was 18.
Jesus.
Oh God. I'm going with the over. It's not going to be 18. And I know that Kevin Stefanski isn't going to want to. I think it was a lot of like false start penalties last year, which is one of the most annoying penalties ever, because that's just like my nephews play Pee Wee football and they don't have false start penalties. So I'm still going to go over just because it's the first game of the year. And this is, again, the first time. Yeah. Nerves. It's the first time that they're playing together as a team.
Britt?
I'm gonna take the under on this.
Ooh, Coach Steph is gonna have
That's my whole
line.
reason. I'm like, no, he's not gonna let them. This is not a Freddie Kitchens team. This is not gonna happen again.
He's gonna have them running suicides on the sideline during the game.
I think you know what it is, guys. I think that they just respect him too much to make mistakes like this. So
One would hope.
I'm taking the under on this.
All right. Next, I'm gonna switch it back to the offense. Baker Mayfield interceptions. Over under 1.5.
Under.
Ooh, she was confident in that.
Yeah. He had what 21 or 22 total last year?
He had enough.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with under also. I think he's gonna have one interception, so we're gonna go under.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna do a wink with this. Shovel passes.
No,
Over under
how
one.
could you?
I do think I put evil stuff into the universe.
You think there will be any shovel passes? I only put it at 1.
No, but you know what worries me is that in the playoffs last year, Kevin Stefanski, when he was with the Vikings, he actually called for one of these, and it made me want to throw up. I don't talk about it, but no. We are better than this. No shovel passes.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go
under.
none. I will chug a lot of alcohol if they call a shovel pass play. Oh, I will chug it if they call it and it works.
Okay. I really hope that happens. If they're going to call it, like, please work.
I mean, I've got plenty of White Claws.
I think I did see one go wrong in training camp. So I think there's one that exists.
They all go wrong. That's why they shouldn't do it.
Okay. And finally, number of times OBJ gets shit on. I'm just kidding. Number of touchdowns over under 2. You know what? The only reason I did that is because literally every player has been like joking with him about it publicly on Instagram.
He's joked about it himself on his own Instagram. Like that's king right there. That's some king stuff going on.
Okay, but seriously, touchdowns over under 2.
Over under
score
2
2 touchdowns at all.
I'm taking the under on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say it's going to be, I hope it's a low scoring game, because if it is a high scoring game, it's probably going to be on the wrong side. So we'll say under 2 touchdowns. I'm not confident in that, but.
All right, ladies, that's all I have for you. So based on these results, I think we're going to lose.
Well, we all have week 1 as a loss.
That's
so
we're consistent.
Oh man, well this was fun. We're gonna have to do this each game. We'll put together some over unders.
Love
and
it.
have some fun with it.
Loved it. Yes.
I'm so excited for football to be back. Like this is
I
great.
know. It's
so
one question though. Okay, so like, the season starts on Sunday. We can't go to games. We can't tailgate. I have those pants, Brie, like the orange ones.
Me too.
Where the hell am I supposed to wear those? I
guess
can't
on our
just wear
couch.
them out.
You should wear them out. So
Not
si-
like
I have those
places
pants.
that aren't tailgates.
well, Sixth and Barley, I think, is
Aw.
having people. Yeah,
You
I'm
can go to
sorry.
B-Dubs. Did you get the season ticket pass for B-Dubs?
Oh, yeah. Actually, you know where I think I might go? I might go to High and Dry because one of my good friends owns it, and he said they're having, like obviously it's socially distanced, but it's a really cool bar. And they're having like a little like they have beer specials and food specials. So wanted to plug them in because Mark is a great guy.
Hi,
So I
Mark.
think that's where I'm gonna go, but I can't wear those pants anywhere. So I'm
Yes,
gonna
you can.
Gosh,
dress like a normal
we should
person.
plan an event this year if we can keep it safe and socially distanced.
We should do that. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
You should wear them to Dunkin' Donuts.
I
Just
should.
like you just go
Get
with
your
I should
pumpkin
sleep in them. I might sleep in them Saturday night. Who
Pumpkin
knows?
spice
Ooh,
pants.
okay.
Who's to say?
So if you sleep in them Saturday night and then the Browns win on Sunday, you realize you have to sleep in them. You can't wash them and you have to sleep in them before every game. Like
Can't wash them.
that's how superstitions work because then you'll wash the luck out of them.
Brittany, I really like everyone's responses to where you can wear them. The answers are work, weddings, grocery store, baptisms, funerals, and where can't you wear those? So, I mean, really good ideas for you.
I love these people.
I think baptism might be my favorite answer.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, thank you guys all for tuning in to us live tonight. This was a really fun show. We will be sure to do some interactive stuff as we head into next week as well. I have nothing more to say, but go Browns, shock the world, shock the Ravens on Sunday. Don't forget to subscribe to us on Spotify, Apple iTunes. Please send us a rating or review. If you didn't get a chance to play along with our Browns record predictions, shoot us a note. Again, check out our tweets. We have a giveaway going on with Where I'm From for some new gear, specifically Baker gear. That'll be going on through Friday. We'll announce a winner. Don't forget to check out our site, Girl Gang. Follow us at Girl Gang Clee. We love you guys, and we will see you and talk to you all next week. Go Browns.
Yay!